talking to make sense to the average person.
I think that the Donald Trump thing is more glitz and glamour for women. That's what I think it is. Because for me, I wouldn't choose him. But maybe it's glitz and glamour for women. For Donald Trump. Hell, I don't know. I mean, the money that he makes. I don't know. You know. Maybe the title. You know, I don't know.
There's an actor out there. I don't know if anybody's familiar with him. His name's Armie Hammer. Right? Armie Hammer's admitted to having an absolutely gorgeous gentleman, but he's admitted to having fantasies of cannibalism. And women throw themselves at this guy. It's bizarre to me. Boy, I know you wanted to try to chime in.
I'm just thinking right now, before you go to him, I'm just thinking, okay, I want to throw myself at a man. Would you like to cook me up? Please tell me if you're using Cabernet when you're boiling me.
I like the white wine sauce for percent.
What?
Hey, yeah, I just wanted to say that the concept of women being attracted to men who are I forgot the gentleman who was talking about it, but women are attracted to like men who are unconventional and think outside the box, or that's not something that solely manifests itself in the extremes of life. Like either you're a felon who goes to jail, or you become president of the United States. Like women respect men who go against, don't have to necessarily go against the grain of society, but men who are independent thinkers and steer their own destiny, steer their own way forward. And so I think that's something that, think what you will about Donald Trump, but the fact that he has many, I'm not saying I'm one of these women, but I'm just saying the fact that he can say things unabashedly, and for that to be attractive to some women, it's not like I'm not attracted to that or what the content that's being produced from his mouth hole, but I'm sure I can understand that, that people are attracted. It represents something bigger. It represents people that don't go with just the convention, who have the ability to think outside the box. Perhaps for some, I wouldn't say that Donald Trump is that necessarily, but I'm saying that that is the way that many people interpret him to be. And so I just wanted to point that out because I think that point is valid that women are into that, but I don't think that the only way that you can see that is in very jarring or provocative personalities. You can just see that with men who put their foot down and notice something to be ridiculous and point out that that's ridiculous and make good rational claims for why it is.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. And then I'm going to say good morning to E. Liddy. So here's the question, and you and other ladies on stage, maybe you can answer this. What is the difference between masculinity and toxic masculinity? Did I stump you, ladies?
No. Were you asking me or?
Well, I was asking you and any of the women in the room.
Okay, well, I'll let my ladies in the room respond first before I do.
I would firstly say, masculinity, women see men who go out of their way to do for others and for the group and for the greater good, whereas toxic masculinity is very selfish and arrogant and abusive. That's what I would say initially.
Any other ladies want to chime in? PB, Alpha, Viola?
I think that masculinity looks like support. And I think toxic masculinity is, like Paula said, about self and for self-gain, and not for the greater good of your community, your family, or yourself. So I think that's the difference for me.
Thank you.
I was going to say that the biggest difference between masculinity and toxic masculinity is like masculinity is more like, in my mind, is a more set, like our set of traits that we traditionally attribute to men. So like strength, leadership, protectiveness, which all can be expressed healthily and positively within our society. Now, I know that there's some people that think that's impossible, but I do believe that there's room, for that to be expressed healthily. But toxic masculinity is like, I just find that to be more of the set of behaviors and stereotypes, like suppressing emotion, aggression, unwarranted or unwarranted aggression or dominance that can hurt both men and others. Like that's more of how I view toxic masculinity than masculinity itself.
Thank you for that, Roy. Thank you, ladies. Good morning, E. Liddy.
What's up, bro?
How you doing? Happy holidays.
Same to you and yours.
Thank you. So what do you think, man? Why are women drawn, seems, to bad boys?
It's funny you asked that question is because I feel like you're addicted to toxic masculinity. Because Luigi is a big example of toxic masculinity. You don't like something, you want something to be changed, so you think that you need to go take someone's life. I don't give a fuck how much I disagree with someone. I'm not going to go kill them. And I feel like anyone who is glamorizing that, you need to go seek a mental evaluation. Like, literally. It's weird. I've seen it start on Twitter before mainstream caught it, and it's so funny. And it's actually, I'm having a moment right now, realizing that we're in an age where I'm seeing shit on social media build up before it hits TV. And this is why legacy media is dying, and I fucking love it for my generation. But, yeah, I just feel like women are just addicted to that shit. They like that toxic bad boy behavior. They feel like it's a sense of protection. I'll even use my community. I asked some of the women that are, I guess, around, like, why do you deal with gang members? And I had one lady tell me, or one woman, she was like, well, it's not that I enjoy their lifestyle, but I just like the rush. Like, it gives them adrenaline. It's almost like foreplay to them, for real. If you want me to get... That's basically what she was telling me. But, yeah, I just think that they just like that shit, and it's weird to me, personally.
Thank you.
But I'll end it.
Great share. Jefferson, good morning. Happy holidays.
Hey, thanks, Jay. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing fantastic, sir. And yourself?
No serious complaints.
Well, you're in the right space. So, Jefferson, why are women attracted to bad boys? What's your opinion?
Character flaws notwithstanding, on the part of maybe some of this would bleed into something like toxic femininity, I guess. But like a lot of the things that map over to the bad boy. If I drew a Venn diagram of very masculine types of agency. So, like, somehow we were able to take a poll over all of the women in Western civilization, or all of the women on planet Earth today, even. There'd be a lot of similarities. There'd be a lot of qualities where we'd see some overlap. And if we took that kind of masculine agency that is broadly appealing to women, there would be a lot of overlap, I think. You would see that agency very present in a lot of the bad boy types. That's what I think it is. Like aggression, for example. Like there's at least in our neural circuitry and our body chemistry and everything else, there's not all that much difference. It may be impossible really currently to tell the difference between the capacity for aggression and the capacity to achieve a goal, or the likelihood that somebody can achieve a goal, like a man could achieve a goal. And that may be, those two things may be inseparable, right? Like aggression is necessary, minimal necessary force. That's a principle, minimal necessary force. But force is part of that, and necessary force is part of that. That kind of operating principle. And it takes something awfully like aggression to to bring to bear the necessary force. It takes being civilized to or some other kind of virtue to make sure you've got the minimal part down. But anyway, that's for whatever that's worth. That's my.
I appreciate it, man. Happy holidays. Thank you, Jefferson. Miss Fifi, I love your PTR. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Can you guys hear me? The app has been glitching on me.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Happy holiday.
Happy holidays to you too. I'm gonna take a stab at it. I'm a Gen Xer here, and I think of course, he's a handsome guy. He's actually from my area here in Baltimore. I'm in Baltimore County. It's like bad boys. They're like forbidden type of things. Just like guys go for the chase, women kind of go for the thrill. You don't get anything out of it. It's all fun and games until it's not. And I think everybody, if he's picking me, I must be something because I'm with this dude. So I think it's been like, especially as it pertains to Luigi, if I'm saying his name correctly, I think this has been going on for years in terms of women with those bad boys that want to write them in jail, marry him, and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I think he did a bad thing. It's not good. And, hey, he can be fine all he wants. He's going to be fine in jail. Yep. That's about it. That's all I have.
JB, are these girls young? Like the ones that are following this kid? Like, because I just can't see older women like doing this. I'm just really curious. I want to know the demographic. Like, are these girls like teenagers? Are they in their 20s? Like, because the girls, I'm in my 30s, baby. I don't see us doing this. I'm sorry.
They're young. Yes, they're young. You're right. And I think Miss Fifi made a good point too that no one has brought up, and it is a lot simpler. It's fun, right? I mean, when I was more into bad boys, I was in my early 20s, and it's because it's exciting. They're desirable. They're a little bit more unavailable. They get a lot of attention. It feels good to be maybe wanted, and picked or something like that in a way that is not at all desirable. And they're a little bit more thrill-seeking, reckless, like not good long-term partners. But they're not. There's that trope of the nice guy finishes last kind of thing. It's the other side of that.
Well, PP, let me ask you a question before I go to Uncle Weed. Did you maybe subconsciously, when you were dating these bad boys, think that, well, maybe because you're a nice lady, right? Did you ever feel that you could change them and maybe help them?
No, I think that's a little bit overplayed. It's just more of like you're kind of fun, like you're in the excitement, you're in the moment. Romance is fun. I don't know. I don't think I have that I can fix you type of thing. I think that's deeper and maybe more specific to a person.
Thank you, PP. Let me say good morning to Unc and Weedman. Good morning, gentlemen. Happy holidays. Unc?
Hey, what's good, JB? Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy holidays.
Unc, let me ask you a question. Thank you for the happy holidays. And listen, me, you, and Weedman, we come from the street, so we have a different mentality, right? But you've definitely seen some fine women with some ugly ass dudes that were bad boys. Why do women like bad boys, Unc?
Because they got bankrolls.
So it's a money thing.
Ain't no such thing as an ugly rich man. I don't care how many women on the stage fix and say, "Oh man, shut up, man. Just because a man got a lot of money, if he ugly, I mean, yeah, okay. Well, I'm a ugly man with some money, and I've dated women that I know wouldn't give me the time of day if I didn't have some bread, period."
But are we talking about ugly men or criminals? Because I thought we was talking about men that commit crimes, like not just aesthetically pleasing. I thought that's what we were talking about.
Well, if that's what you're talking about, then here's the deal. Whether they're criminals or bankers or accountants or auto mechanics or whatever they are, if they ugly and they got some money, however they got their money, a woman don't give two flying fucks. However they got their bread, if they got some bread, how they look is irrelevant. and I'm just talking about my experience. I'm not speaking for all men. All I'm saying is, when I was young and broke, woman wouldn't give me the time of day. In fact, one girl socked me one time for even talking to her. And as soon as I got some bread, everything got different. It got real different. Yeah.
Now she socked you.
He might like
because she felt like, who did I think I was? Look at me, I'm fine.
Did you like
I'm
being
fine.
socked
You got
up?
the nerve to try and talk to me? Really? And you ain't got no money? Y'all see them videos where the girl be talking crazy to the dude? She's sitting on his Ferrari, Bugatti, whatever it is, and she don't know the car is his. And she talking to a dude, get away from me. Ugh, really? As if. Soon as he go to open the door to get in the car, what happened? This your car? Oh my God, really? Could you give me a lift? Can I ride with you?
Let me say this, bro. And I usually agree with you, and I agree with you right now. And I'm gonna say something polarizing, ladies. Just give me a chance to unpack it. Most women, not some of you, but most women don't give a fuck where men get their money from. They don't care. They're not gonna question it. And that money definitely makes them more attractive. But let me say good morning to Weed Man. Joseph, good morning. Happy holidays to you and your family.
How you doing, bro? Happy holidays. Hey, man.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Nothing, just chilling, man. Sitting here smoking, rolling my joint. So the question, I guess, is why women like bad guys? I think I've been married for a long time now.
But see, I was going to say that. You got lucky. You found your woman. You guys have been together since Jesus Christ. But why do women...
20 years.
Yeah. Why do women like bad boy?
But with that being said, what I think and what I pick up, I would say, without anything that would be offending any sex, I think the risk. I think there's a level of risk that and this is the same for men who aren't risky men, right? They put themselves around that environment and they kind of get a feel off it, right? It's fun, it's exhilarating, there's depending on who you're with and what you're doing, there might be levels of power and control, right, involved with that relationship. So there's a lot that actually comes along with dating a bad boy, right? Like my uncle, the leader of a biker gang, he's got a wife up in Kentucky, right? And I'm pretty sure she feels a certain kind of way versus my father and his wife, and kind of how their dynamic is when it comes to the bad boy, because they're both bad boys. But the wives are clearly, attracted to a different type of thrill or risk or whatever. Yeah, or mental illness, P. I mean, to be fair, 100%.
Well, thank you for that.
But you can't jump over. Jay, you can't jump over the fact that Unc sounded like he was a surfer boy out of California. He's like, as if.
Man, why are you going to poke
I was just saying how they talk to me, the responses that I get from women when you initially start talking to them, and then they realize that, you the kind of dude that they can walk into Louis Vuitton and buy that $17,000 purse, right? Not with their money, with your bread, and they ain't got two nickels to rub together. So they walking around with a $17,000 purse on their arms, but they ain't got no money.
You have no money.
That was part of being a bad boy back then, though. You ain't had no money. The women spent their money on you.
Man, no. They didn't spend their money on me, man. A woman wouldn't buy me a biscuit. She wouldn't buy me a roast fried sandwich without the roach.
Wouldn't buy you a
women trying to buy me everything.
Wait, hold on a second. Let me say good morning to Hillary. Hillary, good morning. You look gorgeous in your PTR, Hillary.
Oh, thank you, my brother. I appreciate that. I think one of the things that you guys are saying, the girls are doing for excitement and whatnot. Do you ever think about maybe the fact that these are women who probably have a lot of trauma in their lives and therefore are looking for anybody to protect and take care of them, and they see somebody who's done, and I mean this goes for women who just like the guys in jail, who all of that stuff, the ones that go for the serial killers and everything. It could be more than just a little dangerous, but more to the point that they want a man, an alpha, somebody who they know for a fact would protect them, and that's just some of the attraction to it.
Well, Hillary,
I was gonna say, baby, I agree with you that a lot of women, when it comes to the money shit, it doesn't matter where you got that shit from, because at the end of the day, if I'm used to a certain lifestyle, if I didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth, or if I grew up struggling, and even though this man, he might be, he may not be I don't want to go to the degree that he's a killer, but let's say he's a drug dealer, right? Or let's say he's just doing some nefarious shit where he robbing people and stuff like that. It may not be right. But at the end of the day, he putting food on the table. And for some women, if you're not used to a man doing that, you will accept that, because at the end of the day, he's your lifeline. He's your livelihood. So yeah, you're right. There are some women that will overlook a lot of stuff when it comes to the money, because at the end of the day, if that man is providing and he's showing that he can protect time and time again, she's not gonna care about that.
Well, let me say this before I go to be masterful of yourself. So when I came home from incarceration, I'm not gonna lie, I was intimidated to tell women about my past. I just came home, I was scared, and I have to be honest with you, not one woman that I've spoken to gave a shit. When I told them the truth, I was like, listen, this is where I came from, this is what I did, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't have any money. But now that I got money, it's a whole other ball game. I agree with what Unc said earlier. Be masterful.
Because you had the magical penis.
Well,
Hello.
Hello. Long time no speak. How you doing? Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Good to see you, JB. Hello, Room. Thanks for having me.
So let me ask you a question. Why do women like bad boys, in your opinion?
So, I wouldn't put it in the same category as Luigi. The bad boy thing, I would agree with a lot of the other women said. I think it really just has to do with instinct and survival, knowing that you have a man that would be willing to do things outside of the norm to fight for your nest, you know what I mean, your home, and not be afraid, right? It shows like an element of fearlessness, and I think that that's sought after for security, just psychologically within women. So I think that might be a little bit of that, but I don't think that that's what the Luigi situation is. I've seen a lot of people, I'm going to make a big claim, and for people who it is controversial, I think, but I think that any woman who is at any level sort of either condoning or admiring in any capacity Luigi, I feel that they are, as another woman had said, or another person had said on stage, they're severely lacking in not only emotional maturity, but a need for revolution. They understand that there's a problem in society, because it's not just the women. I've seen it with a lot of men too, especially on Facebook, and a lot of the men in these on these threads, in these debate rooms, which are generally male dominated, and you see, men, it's like 50-50. They're going back and forth, and that it makes me so curious. And you see men come up with these seemingly logical explanation, or I wouldn't say logical, I'll say reasonable, in their mind, that there's an element of reason that they've justified why that this guy should die and why he is a hero. And so I think that's more of what the Luigi thing is. But I think that those people are dangerous people. I think, and I'll move to say that, and I'll end there, that anybody that is admiring him without understanding the true connectedness of how the entire system works and what it means to misrepresent somebody, like a CEO saying that he's a murderer and justifying a murder as a heroic action, while I think it misrepresents the entire moral reason of why we were upset at the CEO to begin with, which is a profit, a callousness, and a profit-based system. He wasn't the CEO wasn't an intentful murderer. There was no intent of, he wasn't a terrorist. And I think that there's a lot of risk misrepresenting that, and the people that are advocating for that, I think they're just hungry for a change. And at this point,
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. I'm asking respectfully. Do you think if Luigi looked like Danny DeVito, he would get as many fans, as many female fans?
To be honest, yeah, sure. I think that there probably wouldn't, but that also then goes to show, like, what's the explanation for the male, this extreme amount of male? Would it be different for the male? And so asking me that, would it be different for the male support as well? I don't know. Can I ask you that? Do you think as a male that there would be, if he looked like Danny DeVito, there would be less men moving to call him a hero as well?
John Wayne Gacy, Charles Manson. Look at all of the extreme love letters and devotion those freaking wackos got. I mean, those good dudes were ugly. I mean, ugly. And look at all the women that threw themselves at them once they were incarcerated.
So,
does anybody remember Prison Day from back in the day, like from a few years ago? That he was like a black guy. He had really pretty green. He was fine.
Yes. Oh my God.
His name was like Jeremy something, and everybody with the internet like went crazy over him. And women was like, "Oh my God, I want to marry him." Like, I forget why he was in jail. I forget.
He got a modeling
contract. They tried to call that motherfucker my twin, bro. Oh my.
You do look like him.
In other pictures, probably, yeah. I think with B-Master, I wanted to say this. The B-Master kind of touching on something different. I think I spoke to it when this first happened, and I also think I told you that this was going to be a white boy that was better off. I think I gave that synopsis in here when you asked a couple of us. I'm not sure, but honestly, I think that because he looks good from a non-homophobic standpoint, I think more men do support him. Looks has a lot to do with everything. It's kind of the first thing we deal with. However, understanding the argument that's taking place here is pretty in-depth. You're looking at society turning over kind of a new leaf, a dangerous leaf. And I wrote an article on it the other day. I think I told y'all, or Jay, you about it. It's called something in the Jacobins. If you guys don't know about the Jacobins and the French Revolution, you should definitely go learn about them. They're pretty much what we know is starting modern-day terrorism in the way it's done. Not just in a physical fashion, but also in a systematic fashion, eliminating your opponents and getting them out of pushing people out and stuff. So go look at that. They're called the Jacobins, and they came around in 1800s, if I'm not mistaken, during the French Revolution. I had to learn about it in school for global terrorism and domestic terrorism, and the resemblances in where society is heading today. And where we're heading, based on the actions of people and the social engineering, is definitely down the road, a slippery slope. So I don't know if it's looks, male or female. I think society as a whole is now being pushed to a much different place.
Thank you, man. So to answer your question, be masterful. I think men who resonate with Luigi resonate with the message. I think some women resonate with his message, as crazy as it is. But I think some women also look past it. They don't give a shit about the message. They just see a fine-ass young man, because that's him in MG's profile. They look at that. They see the six-pack. They see the smile. They see the caterpillar eyebrows.
Oh, that's him.
And they're like, that's him. What do you think, Alpha?
He alright. What? Not my type.
Well,
and another thing about it is people just want to touch fame. I mean, honestly, like it doesn't really even matter what it is. If you've got a name out there for even a few moments, people just want to touch fame. They want to be part of it.
I agree with that. Let me welcome. I don't know how to say your name, sir.
It's the way it sounds. It sounds the way it is.
Well, good morning, happy holidays. What do you think about the conversation, man?
I think it proves the manosphere right yet again. We just keep winning. It proves it right. We were right about there. If you're looking at it, this man is a murderer. I mean, he was like in full view of people. And has all but, give an official confession. Does that stop the ladies not liking him? Nope. Proves the manosphere right again.
But then how would you explain the male support?
Well, that's easy. Men have always. Were there guys that didn't like Jesse James? Were there guys that didn't like Adolf Hitler? Were there guys that didn't like Chairman Mao or Saddam Hussein? They had guys who supported them too. There's no argument that men support horrible men. Nobody denies that. The issue is women supporting horrible men. Women love narcissists. They complain about them all the time. Women love assholes. Women like reproducing with them. Why do you think there's so many assholes walking around? Because women like reproducing with them.
But
They
the
love
question,
assholes.
but sir, the question, and I'm not going to disagree with you, but the question is, why do they love these assholes? You and I have both seen guys who are just straight assholes, sloppy, fat, disgusting, with some of the finest women in the world. Why?
Because women like being treated like crap. The Professor Tom Leykis said it best. Treat women like crap, they always come back. Ladies,
I disagree.
I'm not saying whether I personally agree with it, so that we're clear. I am not giving a personal endorsement or giving a value judgment. I am just looking at behavior, what people do. The first cardinal rule of pickup is you never listen to what women say. You always watch what they do. I just look at what they do.
I mean, JB, I'm just looking at my eyes, right? Like psychoanalyzing this. I hear everybody on stage, like he's attractive, right? I'm doing the eyeball test. Like I said earlier, if this man was living at home, I don't know how old he is, but whatever. If he's living at home, he's jobless, he's a dusty, he would get no women. Like attractiveness.
Do you believe that?
I mean, for me, like, so for example.
But I can only. Girl, bums getting coochie every day out here.
Yeah, okay, there are guys that look like him that are laying up on a woman's couch getting waffles right now.
Every day out here.
Okay, well, I can't relate to that. I have no idea. Like for
now,
me,
that would not work. Relate to it, and that's fair.
I can't relate.
I can't relate to it either, but I see it happen though.
Yeah, it happens all the time. This is prime. This is the prime time of cuffing season. You best believe there are Luigis and Leroys. He's the black equivalent. Luigis and Leroys and Jorge's out there right now laying up on a woman's couch after blowing her back out, and she's cooking him breakfast, and he ain't got a pot to put him in the window to throw it out of. That guy's coming home from jail right now, coming from jail to a woman's couch near you.
Hold on a second, ladies. Before you jump on him, I'm going to agree with everything this man is saying.
So I just think this guy looks unassuming. He doesn't look crazy. Like, right? There's a certain look and aesthetic. He looks like the boy next door. I shouldn't call him.
So did Ted Bundy.
The man. I don't remember what Ted Bundy looks like.
So did Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy is the boy next door.
Yeah, but this guy didn't hurt any women, yo. This guy didn't hurt any women. He didn't attack any women. Like,
Ted Bundy killed women and women loved them.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. The comparisons in which we're providing don't line up with Luigi. Luigi is the murderer. He's not a woman beater or oppressor. Like,
we don't know that. We were just talking in terms of
based on his private statements. They said he was a good guy.
Predatory.
And just like this guy, even though he's not my type, I do appreciate that he is attractive. So I do see the appeal that women would have. But I think that's what we're talking about. Not necessarily the crime he committed, but Ted Bundy had the same appeal. He was very attractive. That's actually how he was able to get a lot of his victims. He took them out on dates, or he would he would follow these girls that on college campuses, follow them around, and then wait till they go to sleep at night, and then kill them in their sleep. Some of his victims. So it's just the similarity is more about the attractiveness and their appeal to women more so than the crime.
So
yeah,
I have
I got lost in translation when I was listening to Mumia then when he was like, "This Luigi's on the couch and comparing." I'm like, "Damn, but they're not the same three kind of."
I'd like to hear what the room thinks about it.
Hold on 1 second. Everybody mute up, please. Mumia, please mute up because I get feedback. Thank you. So I'm gonna get going. If MGP and Beth want to keep it open because I got in real life stuff to do. What I'll do is I'm gonna mod Weedman. He'll be the bouncer at the door. You'll be in good hands with Weedman. So guys, have a great day. Happy holidays, everybody, and I'll see you in the clubhouse streets.
See you, Jay.
Have a good one, good.
See you later, JB.
Jay.
Hey, I just wanted to share with you guys. I just found some polls which I wasn't familiar with. So I'm looking at them as
She
I'm
wasn't
talking.
familiar with the
At
polls?
Center for Strategic Politics, and they did some polls, which is very interesting. Apparently, men are 3 times more likely to find justifiability. I'm like you, Dina. I'm weak too. I can't get through this without somebody to touch, without somebody to love. Is that because sex numbs the pain? Or is it because I'm some evil fuck monster? I don't know. But I do know I was somebody before I came in here. I was somebody with a life that I chose for myself. And now it's just about getting through the day without crying. And I'm scared. I'm still scared. I'm scared that I'm not myself in here. And I'm scared that I am. Other people aren't the scariest part of prison, Dina. It's coming face to face with who you really are. Because once you're behind these walls, there's nowhere to run, even if you could run. The truth catches up with you. And it's the truth that's gonna make you a bitch.
It's the truth that's gonna make you her bitch. Scared straight from Orange is the New Black. Let's go to Dr. James. Good morning, Dr. James. Fresh vibe, if you want it.
Yeah, good morning. I appreciate that. So I was kind of thinking about what I wanted to talk about because it seems like the conversation has been a bit all over the place today, and it's kind of nice to just not be sort of in the midst of a contentious argument. I don't come to Clubhouse for contentious arguments. So
Really? You don't, huh, Dr. James?
This has been kind of nice, even if it's not talking about all sort of sunshine and rainbows. I do appreciate just a good conversation, connecting with people that I'm getting to know, and developing whatever we call this, or these relationships, friendships, whatever. Is there a different word that we haven't come up with for these types of bonds that we share? I'm not sure, but I think there's really something here, and I really appreciate it. And I appreciate coming to your room, Steve, and helping out whenever I can. And so I guess there's that. That's kind of sort of always glazed around anything I say in here. Yes, I just want to say I guess I'm going to take up the space a little bit. Yesterday, I spent the entire day making a fire in my wood-burning fireplace and just hanging out by the fire and really kind of doing nothing, just having a very sort of slow, contemplative day, which is rare for me. And it was so good. I mean, it was just such a nice... I don't know. When I make a fire, I use it kind of in a how do you call it? Like a ritual, burning away the stress, burning away. If I have something that's really been bothering me, sometimes I even do these visualizations and stuff. And I'm not going to push snake oil on anybody because this is really my thing. But I find it to be really healing. And I think there's something really healing in a lot of ways about a lot of elements. I mean, water is something else that I find to be really healing. And, since we're in the Ask the Atheist room, my mind is floating to this idea of, you see even in religion and spirituality, the elements get invoked for certain rituals. And, some people really believe in these things in a very literal way. I can't help but wonder if the previous speaker who was talking about an app and different things, if they really believe all those things, or if it's just sort of a means to an end. Maybe this is someone who's really just looking to get their big break, and they came up with this idea, and they see a market for it. People do that all the time. I find that to be a little bit, and again, I don't want to disparage anything that is being done or he's doing or whatever, but it did feel a little bit like a grift to me, and I didn't like that. It's like probably my